I've produced over 100 songs between my music and other artists. I've done a dozen artworks or more for my own personal releases, and in fact, a couple artists have been asking me to do artwork for their albums this past year, and I have been. But this is the first video I've ever done in the music scene. Some people might call it a lyric video, but personally, I call it a music video because of its cinematic qualities to it. When you think of a traditional lyric video, it's just maybe a background, some special effects, and just the lyrics popping up on the screen to go along with the song. But there was an actual script that went into my lyric video, starting scene and end scene, and just everything in between, flipping the pages to go along with the lyrics. To me, it was more cinematic than what I would think of if someone said lyric video. But anyways, in this episode, the final episode, we're going to get into the behind the scenes process of the music video for Observer Effect. So let's get right into it.
A face only a meth lab could love. A stepdad could hug, get your chest smashed and crushed. Puff the best wax, pen spazzes, terrorist.
While I was creating the book, originally just for the artwork, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be super dope to include the book in the music video somehow? Like reuse it, maybe print the lyrics onto the pages in typewriter font and flip through it, and that's the music video, just reading along with the lyrics. And kind of maybe freeze on each page, zoom in and read each word left to right, or just each phrase, kind of like if you were picking up an actual book and reading it word for word. You'd read the top line left to right, next line, and just repeat. So that's what I ended up doing. And in order to achieve this, obviously I had to have the artwork and video concept in mind when creating the book, because the pages I sewed in had the lyrics on them. So I set up a basic layout of the pages in Photoshop. I separated each section based on when the artist would switch back and forth between Paranoah, the worst person, Paranoah, etc. So I thought I could do some cool special effects with this later. At least it would leave it open-ended so I could play around with effects and stuff like that. I didn't know what I was doing yet. I ended up doing a color-coded system for it, where Paranoah is expressed in red lyrics, the worst person in purple, just to further express the idea of these are two different artists. I printed it out on kind of this off-white paper and sewed those pages into the book. And at the time, I wasn't even 100% sure about the lyric video or the direction I would be going with it. It was just an idea that popped into my mind, and I'm like, yeah, it's now or never. If I want to have this option after the artwork's done, I've got to set the pages up to work for it in advance. And that's what I did. Even if I didn't go with that idea and it was just the artwork, that'd be fine, because you can't see what's in the pages on the artwork. The book is just closed. So if that was the case, no harm done. Worst case, I just don't use the idea. But in the end, I loved how the video came out. So I'm really glad that I took a chance on it and took this wild idea and ran with it.
Wrapped in stretched plastic, can't let no blood touch the fresh fabric. Come from a different cloth, drip like a wet jacket, jet lag.
Let's talk about the intro scene real quick. At first glance, it looks pretty simple. It just says Observer Effect, and then underneath how the act of observation can cause disturbance. But if you look in the background, there's kind of this subtle overlay of a scene that I filmed. It's two people sitting at the table. Well, you can just see their hands. That's kind of the point. One of them is scribbling, writing lyrics into the book, passing it to the other person. Then they were, adding to it, writing lyrics below it, passing it back and forth. And that's to kind of portray Paranoah and the worst person co-writing the song together. I mean, they wrote their sections back and forth in sequence so that everything would work, which I kind of described a little bit in episode 1. But I thought that'd be kind of a cool thing to not really bury. I wanted to make it visible enough to where you could see it if you were looking. So the next part, the next scene, which is majority of the video, was the lyrics. I wanted this to really feel like a first-person experience for the viewer. They, discover this book, like, oh, what's this? And they open it up, start flipping through the pages, and that's when the song lyrics come in. So that's what's going on in the majority of this scene. I was zooming in on each word for word, scrolling kind of like they're reading it from start to end, and then when it's time to flip the page, the camera view kind of zooms out a little bit, and I flip the page and repeat, and at the very end it zooms out and I close the book. It reveals the cover with the eye again, and then I kind of slowly drag it off the screen and it fades. So you would think that for this scene, while I'm filming, I flip to one page, I hold it there for 30 seconds or however long the lyrics are going for that page, and flip again, but that's actually not what happened. And this is really interesting. It's one of those moments where, as a creator, you have this idea, this end goal in mind, but every step of the way of achieving this, nobody understands what you're doing. And at the very end, when everything pieces together, it's like, oh.
Jet lagging, I write letters like a test packet.
On the track to get a chick magnet.
Open shop and pop up a pink tablet. The Benji stepsister.
So instead of trying to hold the camera still on each page for like 30, 40 seconds, flipping to the next page and repeating, what I did was I started the video and I held it on that page for just a split second, long enough to get at least one frame where my hands are out of the way, every word is in good focus, and then I flipped the page and repeated. My thought process here was, in editing, when reading along with the lyrics, I can just freeze the video on that frame. Then when it comes time to flip the pages, I can unfreeze the video, flip the page, freeze on the next frame, zoom in on the words, and just repeat that for the entire process. And that's what I did. I also wanted some more contrast with the text. So what I did was I took a copy of it, made it glow, and put that on the original video. And then I color coded that. So I made Paranoah's lyrics red and The Worst Person's lyrics purple to kind of reiterate the back and forth, who's saying what. Oh, and another little subtle detail, whenever the drums would come in and the bass would hit, I made it so that the glowing text would shake a little bit on the screen and glow a little bit brighter, just to kind of give it more involvement with the beat and really tie things together.
My pen is Edgar Allan Grim tragic.
Overcast to the antenna, I bring static.
Push weight like I fist fat chicks. Catch us in a different town.
The last scene is the credits, and what I did was I printed a couple pages at the very end of the book after the lyrics, and it goes, credits. You flip the page, it says song produced by Yeti, lyrics written by Paranoah, The Worst Person. And then after that, I close the book in the video and the screen fades.
In a different town, the shit catfish.
Wait, put an asterisk. I buck shots like Black Moon, I blast boom. A couple cadavers in trash bags in back rooms. I'm like the black fume inside of a glass spoon, so ask whom. My back covered in scabs and stab wounds.
Ravenous baboon, Harambe sensei.
Before I let you guys go, I want to thank you again so much for tuning in and joining me in this behind the scenes documentary / breakdown of my new single, Observer Effect, with Paranoah and The Worst Person. It's out now, available on all streaming platforms. It's off my new producer album, Below Zero, which is available now only on Bandcamp. I've got physical copies available too in CD and vinyl. At the time I'm recording this, I've got like only 2 or 3 CDs left and a handful of vinyl, so if you're looking to grab a physical copy of Below Zero before they sell out, shoot me a message. I'm probably not going to do any more vinyls after this. I might do CDs again, but we'll see. Also, if you think I should do more of these behind the scenes breakdown series for future music releases, definitely shoot me a message and let me know. Or if you're seeing this on YouTube, drop a comment, let me know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube, tap the bell icon if you don't want to miss out on any future videos like this one. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a great day. Peace.
The gun game explain. Force Morgan Webb to snore some meds. Hentai and chill, hentai. Animated when I made a statement. Inhaling fumes, Sailor Moon. Upskirting perv ho. I'm a disturbed person. Internal murmuring, rehearsing my verse at your show. Show up the Peter with a dead weasel and fur coat. For sure, dope.
Damn secrets, can't see it from the crystal ball. I observe it all from the sky to watch it burn and fall. I eat the koozie through the new pajamas, doing the cucaracha, then I skate off, cruising in Punta Cana.
Your chick approved, puking up pukes.